Alright, in this video, I'm going to just quickly show how to figure out the best line to take from point A to point B anywhere in the game. This is something that you can use everywhere in the game, just to figure out what the best line is. So, say you're finishing Tip Top and you just got the Jiggy, and you want to make it to the first note. You can obviously go something like that, and you can start getting the first notes. That might not be the greatest, because you don't know if that's the best line or not. So what you should do is this. You should first figure out where you want to go, obviously, and where you're starting. Make sure where you're starting is realistic to a run. Then get into first person. Then center where you want to go in first person, just by holding left and right. Right? Once it's roughly in the center, pause. Right? And when you pause, on the practice ROM specifically, you want to look at this letter right here, the H. Right between this H and this apostrophe, that's the exact center of the screen. So you want to line that up with wherever you want to go in the run. And then that will make Banjo face that perfect direction. Alright? So that looks just about right. You can go a bit more left and right, be a bit more pedantic if you want, but that's about right. Then you unpause. Now Banjo's facing the right direction. In other places in the game, you can just hold R sometimes, and then just hold straight up in Talon Trot, or just without Talon Trot. But what I would recommend, not only here, but for most places, is to beak barge. Because if you beak barge, you go in a straight line, and you can look at the ground that you're going over to figure out visual cues about what designs to go over on the ground for the best line. So here, the best line to the note, if I were to beak barge, it would look like this. I would go down here, I'd go up, then I'd get the note, right? So now you can see that's a lot different than what you might have expected. That's a lot different than what most people do, which is like going around like this. So this is something that you should learn how to do. So you would do the same thing. Pause. A bit far to the right. There. Around like that. Then start beak barging. Look for visual cues on the ground. So you see that I went over this green splotch. So I can keep that in mind to Talon Trot over this. And I reached the flat ground right in front of this green splotch. Then I beak barge again. I went over right around the top side of this green splotch, and then continue on to the note. And that's the best line. So then you keep that in mind when you're trying to do this part. Go like that. And then just practice going over the best line. So like that, something like that. Obviously here you walk downhill, then you jump uphill. It's something you practice. You keep the visual cues in mind to help you in the run. Something like that is decent. But this is something that you should use everywhere in the run if you can, right? So just figure out where the center of the screen is, where you have to go, beak barge to give you a visual of the best line, and then use visual cues on the ground, right? And do that everywhere if you can.